Edwards Austin Field. Today's high school baseball game between the visiting Edward Little Red Eddies and the visitors, the Oxford Hills Vikings. Starting defensively for Edward Little behind the plate, number 9, Drew Lashua. First base, number 3, Ben Harris. Second base, number 5, P.J. Gibson. At third base, number 15, Jared Norcross-Ford. Shortstop, number 7, Austin Cox. Left field, number 13, Max Bell. Center field, number 11, Tyler Blanchard. In right field, number 1, Mason Brushwine. And on the mound, number 12, Brandon Varney.
And we are underway. Matt Boutwell, Steve Flynn, undisclosed camera guy making his long-awaited return, this time to the baseball diamond. It's the OA game of the week, Oxford Hills at Edward Little. And with that pitch, we are underway.
Up for Oxford Hills will be Labossiere, West, and Smith to lead off the top of the first here.
Now 1-1. Of course, Oxford Hills has not had quite the successful week that Edward Little has. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up.
7-5 Vikings against the undefeated 12-0 Edward Little Red Eddies.
Barney's pitch is lined into the hole for a base hit. Past the Lavoisier because Hunter Lavoisier is on to lead things off for the Vikings.
Varney, one of 3 pitchers sporting a 4-0 record for the Eddies, and defensively behind him, catching will be Drew Lashua. First to third, Harris, Gibson, Cox in short, then Plord at third. Left to right in the outfield, Bell, Blanchard, and Brushwine.
West takes one high, a 1-0.
The speedy West is starting in center field today. Coach Slicer, a guy not afraid to play some fundamental baseball here. Won't be terribly surprised to see a bunt.
And that's going to be popped foul into right field.
Boy, just foul. Labossiere wasn't quite sure whether or not he was going to take off. Typically, you want to see them take a good secondary lead there. Not going to be tagging up even on a catch. If it drops in, you want to make sure you get to second. West will get another shot here.
Back over to first, runner back. It's kind of nice to have a working scoreboard, Steve. Everywhere I've been lately, there's been no scoreboard.
Thank God.
It's great in Lewiston. They get the scoreboard down the line, and it's never on. It's never, nothing going on there. 1-1 pitch, fake bunt attempt. Pulls it back, takes a strike, 1-2.
2 strikes takes the bunt option away here, although we've seen Slicer do it in the past. He's got to trust West to try to work the ball to the right side of the field.
Varney swings it back over to first. Lavoisier back.
When not on the bump, Varney is typically behind the dish, so he swaps with Lashua today. Tough day to have all that equipment on.
Varney steps, kicks, and that'll be fouled away at the plate. It looks like it went right off of West's foot, so he got to feel that one, and might be feeling it for a little extra long there.
Off-speed pitch, and West was way out in front. He nicked it. It looked like it hit the top of his left-hand foot. Did I just say the top of his left-hand foot?
The top of his left-hand foot there.
So how about the top of his left foot?
That's good.
It's not his hand foot.
That was impressive.
Yeah. I guess it's on his left-hand side.
I mean, it really is. I mean, honestly, to tell between the right and the left, I'm looking down at each hand every time.
I figure if I'm getting confused and I'm saying it, people listening are getting confused too.
Exactly.
All right. So
now we're not even sure what we were talking about. Okay, now, looks like West is all set. See? And that's the magic right there. Runner on first, nobody out, just underway here in Auburn. Edward Little, unbeaten, looking to stay that way. Pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3, 1 away.
Good fastball that time by Varney, taking advantage of the little slowage there after the foul ball. Snuck it by Bailey. Now the catcher, Matty Smith, with his first at-bat.
Just low, 1-0. Looked pretty good, but apparently was not.
Looked like a breaking pitch that started in the middle of the plate, fell away.
Varney looks in. Pitch inside, 2-0.
And one thing that's impressed me about Matt Smith is that he really does a nice job zoning up his at-bats, and he's takes smart cuts. That's really important on a 2-0 pitch here. Got to be something really, really good.
2-0 pitch is going to be flared into right field, and that is going to be a fair ball. Bossier will get to third. Smith will slide into second. Vikings have runners on second and third with 1 out here in the first inning. Vikings offense was shut down by Lawrence the other day. Looks like they've got some life this afternoon.
Yeah, only able to get a couple of runs against Mount Ararat and then not scoring any against the Bulldogs with a couple of early opportunities here. 1 out, 2 guys on. And I'll tell you, that ball looked like it was down early. Coach Slicer calling for Labossiere to get going earlier. Probably could have scored it. He jumped a little quicker, but Emery Chickering now the cleanup hitter with 2 men in scoring position.
Barney looks the runner back. Labossiere goes back to third. Pitches in the dirt, 1-0.
Aside from cleanup duties, Chickering will man the hot corner behind Tyler Johnson for the Vikings.
By the way, if you're watching this game and you know that somebody else would like to, all you got to do is tell them to just go to mbr.org. There's 8 million links on the front page. They cannot miss it. We've made this as easy as possible to find for you. Tell Grandma to hook it up on the Roku.
We're trying.
Do what
we are trying.
We can. Uncle Pete can put it up there, too.
There you go.
I don't have an Uncle Pete, but if I did, I'd have him hook it up.
Definitely be the guy to call.
Pitch looked at for a strike. Good off speed there.
Both big off-speed pitches. Looks like Chickering has just kind of stayed back on him. Hasn't really got too aggressive.
2 on, 1 out, 1-2.
Got to take that pitch the other way. It's the only place to go with it.
1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 3, and there's 2 away.
Hey, Chickering just didn't have much timing on it at all, and that time way out in front of the breaking pitch. Varney put it in the dirt. Chickering trying to knock it to the right side, just not able to get any contact on it. And second strikeout for Varney this half inning.
Pitch to Fleming. Roller down to third, and that is not going to be handled. That right there is going to be in E5 as Norcross Plord wasn't able to pick it up. Runner scores 1-0 Vikings.
Yeah, just kind of a slow roll. There was a breaking pitch. Fleming got right over the top of it, kind of nubbed it towards Plord. He made an aggressive charge towards it. Just couldn't transition from the glove to his hand. And an unearned run able to get through here. Now men on first and second for the Vikings.
Spinhern has pretty much been the most consistent hitter on this team for the last couple of weeks. See if that continues here. In the dirt, 1-0.
I've heard the nickname for Brandon Varney is Rubber Arm, and he's a guy that can throw a lot of pitches. So we'll keep track of that pitch count today, but I would imagine Dave Jordan's going to hang his hat right on him.
Pitch is fouled away.
Outside of the 3 guys that are 4-0, that would be Norcross, Plord, Brandon Varney, as well as Damian St. Pierre. C.J. Gibson has 2 saves. That rounds out the pitching statistics for the Eddies. Sticking with the same group of guys.
Pitch is going to be lined up the middle for a base hit. Smith is going to be stopped at third, and the Vikings are going to have loaded bases. Spinhern can't get the RBI, but does get on base to keep the inning alive with 2 outs.
So the pitcher, Tyler Johnson.
Varney's first pitch to Johnson is high, 1-0.
Not many pitchers get a chance to help themselves out before they've already helped themselves.
Right. That's not a normal thing.
Like that.
Swung and I missed, 1-1. But the question is, do they help themselves with their left hand or their right hand? That's really the big key.
Yeah, good point. Most of the breaking pitches have been taken for strikes from Varney, but the fastball's been swing and miss stuff.
1-1. Off speed low. 2-1. Good pitch, but he wasn't biting. That pitch is going to be hit out into right field and caught. 1 run, 1 error. We're halfway through 1, and the Oxford Hills Vikings lead 1-0 over Edward Little. It's the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA, Experience in Motion. Of course, OA, whether you're an elite athlete with a serious injury or a rider with carpal tunnel syndrome, we've all experienced carpal tunnel syndrome, especially here on the MBR team. The OA team will help you return to an active lifestyle quickly and safely. Nationally recognized, board-certified, fellowship-trained. That's OA. Find more information for them online at orthoassociates.com.
Lineup for Edward Little. Austin Cox will lead it off, followed by Tyler Blanchard. Plord will hit in the 3-hole. Drew Lashua, the catcher, will bat cleanup. Your pitcher, Brandon Varney, will bat in the 5-hole. Grant Hartley will be the DH for Ben Harris at first. Max Bell, the left fielder, hits 7th. C.J. Gibson, playing second base, will bat 8th. And Mason Brushwine, the right fielder, rounds out the lineup for the Red Eddies. Defensively, Matty Smith doing the catching for Tyler Johnson. Tyler Curtis at first, Braden Bean at second. Spinhern at short, Chickering at third, left to right. Labossiere, West, and Fleming in the outfield for the Vikings. Edward Little, a team that can score and score in bunches. They've scored 96 runs so far this year, average about 8 a game. They're an aggressive team. They swing the bat. Coach Dave Jordan has made a very strong name for himself as a great coach, but in particular with the hitting instruction. He made a huge impact at Poland, made a difference at Lewiston High School, also coached for a period of time with Bates College, and now taking over the helm for the Red Eddies.
Austin Cox will kick things off here. First pitch from Johnson is high, 1-0. Is high again, 2-0. Two-0 pitch is going to be laced into a right field, and Fleming will come up with a catch. 1 away.
Tyler Blanchard now, the center fielder for the Eddies, steps up to the plate. Swing and a miss that time. And Johnson up 1-0 in the count. Swung on, popped lightly, flared towards Braden Bean at second base. He makes the catch easily. And 2 down early here in the bottom of the first, and that's going to bring up Justin Plord. Plord, last time these two teams met, had a huge day, 5 hits, scored all kinds of runs. Tell you, he gets it done no matter where he is. First pitch is a fastball, misses high. Here's the 1-0 to Plord. And falls behind 2-0. Tell you, it's so important to pitch at least, even if not ahead in the count, when you get behind, to the good hitters, you put yourself in danger. Breaking pitch swung on, fouled away. It'll be 2-1. 2 outs here, bottom of the first, 1-0. The Vikings score an early run. And the 1-2 deplored. Check swing foul. Either way, it'll count as a strike, and that evens it at 2-2. Looking for the fastball here for sure. Curveball swung on and missed, and that'll end the first inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Vikings. An impressive first inning on just 10 pitches for Tyler Johnson. After 1 inning of play, the Vikings lead the Eddies. It is the Orthopedic Associates Game of the Week.
Of course, I also want to remind you, this game brought to you in part by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Whether you're a youth group or some other group that needs funds raised, well, go see Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find more from them online at maineathleticfundraising.com. You know, the only thing I could ask for today is just a couple more clouds. Not actual rain, but just clouds.
We could use a few more.
Yeah. One big one. Like if today was going to be like the movie Independence Day, this would be a good time for them to kind of move those ships like right in front of the sun just for a little while.
So my issue with transposition might have got me. I referred to Mr. Johnson as Tyler in the first. Troy Johnson is followed in the lineup by Tyler Curtis. They're close enough for me to transpose. It's
okay,
Troy
good.
Johnson.
Okay, good.
Has had the outstanding incident.
So what you're saying is I should not
in front of me for pointing that out.
So I shouldn't follow your lead then, is what you're saying. Seems legit.
And speaking of Mr. Curtis, he'll be first up to the dish here for the Vikings.
Still rocking that beard. Now rocking a base hit out into left field.
Braden Bean now, second baseman. And then we will cycle back to the top of the lineup with LaBossiere. Bean only wearing, okay, so he wears 33 at home, but he wears 2 on the road. Noted. Squares late. Pitch was a ball. Bunt is down towards third base. Plord comes through it, makes the throw to first. It's wide into the outfield. Curtis rounds second. He's going to be held at third. I tell you, the big hat tip there goes to the right fielder, Mason Brushwine, doing a great job of backing up that play. You don't see that happen very often. Brushwine able to get behind Ben Harris over at first base, and the throw from Plord sailed to the left. So now it'll be first and third, and we're back to the top of the lineouts. None out here. Top of the second inning.
Wonder if there's going to be any type of bunting action here.
Mr. Scoreboard needs to take notice.
Maybe, just a little bit. First pitch is a ball, 1-0.
All even here at 1-1. Hunter singled in his first at bat. And going. Hit to the left side. Cox boots it. Curtis is going to score easily. Bean will stay safely at second on the play. And we still have none out here. Coach Jordan wants to come out and talk it over with the Eddies defense.
That can happen. Vikings off to a good start, very aggressive, and hitting on the right counts.
Hitting on the right counts, and Edward Little just not able to perform defensively behind Varney. These are plays that we've seen them make, but not here. So now West, who struck out in his first at-bat, and then Matty Smith, who had a double, Next up for Varney. I've got him at 28 pitches, which isn't that bad if you're finished the second inning.
Right.
Typically, in practice, you're probably going to go with 18 pitch innings. In a game, you're expecting about 15 pitch innings. So 30 is the right number if you've got 6 outs, but not if you've only got 3.
Right.
So now men on first and second, and Bailey West. He tries to bunt. He fouls it straight back. Oh, boy. I'm going to... Bunting. We just, I don't, yeah. Keep the barrel above the handle of the bat. Force the ball into the ground. Bunt to strike. We'll see whether or not West tries to lay another one down. He squares, pulls it back, and it's in the dirt. So 1-1 now to West. You got to imagine with no outs, West, he's got a bunch of speed, so bunt's not a bad idea. Defensively, nobody cheating, and the runner being held at first. Offers a bunt, but the pitch is way up. Tell you, this is an interesting alignment. Typically, you're not going to hold the runner on at first when you've got a runner in front of him. This is first baseman's territory to have the first baseline. Doesn't look like either baseline is being eaten up by either corner infielder, and the bunt is wide open. Swung on, lined. Oh, Bell froze at first and jumped up and made the catch. I'll tell you, it looked like it had him beat. Hit right on the screws by Bailey West, and a hard line out to left field will be the first out here in the top of the second inning. Now Matty Smith with a big double in his first at bat. Breaking pitches down. It'll be 1-0.
It's always fun when you get multiple at-bats to start the game, like one inning, then the next inning.
And he's right there again, sure.
It's good to get a rhythm.
Bean on second, Labossiere on first. Swung on, fouled away. Slicer had a play on it, but gave up.
Just said, nope,
Yeah,
nope.
that was a backhand and just beat him.
That happens.
1-1 now.
Happens to the best of them.
Does. Breaking pitch now up. He's missed up with it. He's missed down with it. Has not been able to find the middle. And now 2-1 to Matty Smith. 2 on, 1 down. Top of the second. Vikings up 2-0.
Kind of feel like we're talking about the Tootsie Pop.
Yeah.
Being to the center.
How many bites?
Yeah.
How many licks?
3, according to the owl.
Double steal. Throw down a third. Throw beat him, but he got in. The throw was high. And Bean made a nice slide to the outfield side of the bag. Got to the base in before the tag was down. Double steal that time. Wow. That's exciting.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. You know, you hear that all the time in basketball games. You hear it in everything else. Vikings are being aggressive here.
Pitch was up. It's a ball. So now 3-1 to Matty Smith. Pitch is popped in. It's going to be a hit. It's going to fall in behind third base. Bean will score. Labossiere is going to hold up. And Matty Smith with the run-scoring single. Second run of the inning. Now 3-0 Vikings. Still just 1 out. Top of the second inning. Now Emery Chickering. Strikeout victim in his first at bat.
Looking to get over that.
Lashua out now to give some signals for the first and third situation. All kinds of different plays here. One of those plays that gets overly complicated in high school baseball. Matty Smith with a generous lead over at first. Not going. Fouled away. And wow. A couple of spectators by the outfield fence never even saw it. Didn't react to it.
So funny story. I went through this whole thing to get everything restarted because of that.
Yeah.
It was just because the mute button was on.
Mute.
Yeah.
Mute.
Ha 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 ha
Mute.
ha ha.
Bunt. Bunt is down. It's a squeeze. Labossiere safe at the plate.
Wow.
What a play. What a gutsy play, and credit to Chickering for getting the pitch down. The pitch was up. Chickering did a nice job elevating the bat, getting the ball down to the ground, and Labossiere had a good jump from third base, able to score the run. Now 4-0 Vikings, and still just 1 out.
I'll bring Andrew Fleming up. We're going to have someone get that.
We will.
We will. Someone.
Breaking pitch up to Fleming. He reached on a slow roller to Plord. Plord not able to handle it. Now 1-0 to Andrew. Swung on and through. 1-1. Matty Smith at second. Emery Chickering holds the lead at first base. Still holding him on at first. Fleming lines it into left field. Matty Smith, he had the wave around, but Slice put up the brakes right at the end. He wanted to see what kind of a throw was going to come from left field. Max Bell made a good one. Slicer held him, so now bags are packed for Spinhern. Also had a single in his first at-bat.
Of course. Baseball is one of those sports where you can't score on Wednesday, but on Friday you can't stop scoring. That seems to be the deal for Oxford Hills today.
4 hits so far this inning for the Vikings, and Spinhern takes the first one for a ball.
Off speed is taken outside, actually. At least I think so.
The last one looked like a strike. That one didn't.
That was kind of my thought.
Either way, at this point, it should be 1-1,
evened out.
right? Yeah.
It evened out.
Popped up to Blanchard. He camps under it. Smith is tagging. Off he goes. They're going to cut it and throw to third. And he's going to be out at third.
The run did score beforehand, though.
Run scores. And that's going to be the end of it. So through 1.5 in the middle of second. Vikings up 5-0 over the Ever Little Red Eddies.
Quite a series of events here for the Vikings.
Second out. And that was 8-3 to 5 for the third out. Almost batted around, but they didn't.
Of course, you can find out more information about this game later on at mbr.org, your best resource for sports, Maine's best resource for sports. Get the scores and schedules for free every morning, no subscription required. You can talk about the games in the forums, you can watch the games in the archives, and much, much more. Again, mbr.org. Now, Matty have a double or a single on that one? It was a single, right?
Single, yep. Okay, wow. Still just wrapping up my scorecard there, so.
There was a lot of stuff going on there. I'm still wrapping up the Snapchat tweet thing. So
You're still pulling that off over there.
I just did, actually.
Okay, all right.
Has the boss let us know that we've got audio? Everything's good now?
I don't know. Boss, if you're listening.
Just give us a holler. Let us know. Swung and a missed. I just fixed that too.
Drew Lashua now.
Johnson must be excited to be out to this lead. Outside, 1-0. Always nice as a pitcher to get a 5-run lead to work with.
1-1.
1-1, pardon me.
Yep. all evened up. It's the cleanup hitter, Drew Lashua for the Eddies.
Bounces in there, but nobody was on. So
Be Lashua, Varney, and Hartley for the Eddies. Troy Johnson looking to keep his momentum.
Not in there. 3-1.
Can we put that invisible box up there so everybody can see the strike zone?
Invisible box, invisible bird, and that one is high and inside. Lashua goes down to first. Oh my.
Free one for Lashua now. Brandon Varney down 5 runs. Small ball kind of out of it here for the Eddies. They're just going to have to put something together. Never good to let that leadoff guy on. Fastball up to Varney. 1-0. Down 2-0. Tell you, Lashua's got some speed. You wonder if they're trying to save his legs a little bit where he's been behind the dish. Curveball in there for a strike. Two and one now. None out here, bottom of the second. Vikings up 5-0.
Good stop there by Matty to keep that from allowing the runner to advance for free.
When you got a pitcher that's got a curveball like Johnson does, that over-the-top, overhand curveball, you got to have trust in the guy that he can block it behind the dish.
That one's in there for a strike, and that was a that was a very good attempt there by Varney to
tried to sell it,
but no.
Got a full count now. We'll see if Coach Jordan sends Lashua from first. Not moving.
Off speed is high. Hartley hits for Harris.
The big sophomore, lefty. Tell you, he's a space eater, that's for sure. One of the things that's happening with Troy here is he pitched from the windup in the first inning, and started it from the windup, and now going from the stretch, and he's not using his legs as much, and so his arm is kind of dragging behind him a little bit. His elbow gets down, and he leaves the pitch up. You got to keep your hand on top of the baseball.
Really does change things when there's runners on base, Steve.
Without a doubt.
Just in terms of the rhythm and everything else that a pitcher has. It's always amazing how that...
We can't all be like Blake Slicer and just not allow anyone to get on base.
Right. That makes it easier, I would assume.
Oh, nice. You hear the Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's a neat touch. That's what I'll call it, a touch. Sounds good now.
1-0. Thank you very much to the boss, to Hartley. Whereas on first and second, nobody out. Pitches in there for a strike, 1-1. So I think the strike zone is high.
It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there.
At least this inning. I'm not sure what it'll be next. We'll see that. 1-1 fouled away, 1-2.
Get to read a pitch like that and see what's happening. Hartley way behind on the fastball. Mentally, you got to think that the young lefty is going to try to speed up his swing, makes him susceptible to the off-speed pitch here.
Swung on a miss, strike 3. Good call, a little Flynn-genuity on that one, and there's one away.
Second strikeout for Johnson. Now Max Bell, the left fielder, made a nice play on a line drive right at him, and a nice throw from the outfield in the top half of the second. One away here, bottom of 2. Pop straight up. Matty Smith's got a shot at it. It's a silo ball, and he makes the catch. Tell you, love it. Love it when a catcher can pop out and make that play. It is not an easy play. The ball's got some funky spin and tries to curl back towards the infield. Smith did a nice job clearing his feet, getting rid of his mask, and settling under it. Two away now.
I assume silo ball means, because that's the first time I've heard that
silo
lingo.
ball.
It looks like a silo. You can hit
it
straight up at a silo.
You got it. First pitch swung on by Gibson. Out to Fleming in right field. He makes the easy catch. And the Yetis will leave a couple of men on. So after 2 innings, Oxford Hills Vikings 5, the Edward Little Red Eddie's nothing. This is the Orthopedic Associates Game of the Week.
Of course, you can find more from them online at orthoassociates.com. Tomorrow, you'll have recaps and everything else from all the games happening out there. Be up bright and early in the morning, mbr.org.
All right, let's see what we've got due up for the Vikings. Somebody that's already hit, I can guarantee you that.
Well, that's funny. But have they hit once or twice, Steve?
Looks like just once. Yeah, so the 3 guys coming up this half inning have only been up once, so they'll all get their second at-bats here. It's going to be Troy Johnson, Tyler Curtis, and Braden Bean. 7, 8, 9 for the Vikings. Varney going to stay on the bump. What'll be interesting is if he gets to a pitch limit, I have Varney at 44 pitches through 2 innings. Whether or not they put him behind the plate as a catcher. Yeah.
They did that the last game I think we were at, right?
Well, they brought him from catcher after 6 innings and put him on the bump.
Which you make an interesting point as a catcher. You know, he's throwing out to second plenty of times. That doesn't count against his pitch count.
I'll sum up. The pitch count thing is an interesting thing, and generally speaking, I am definitely more in favor of not limiting them or not only allowing a certain amount of pitches. I don't think the key is to throw less. I actually think the key is to throw more and condition more. You got to condition your arm for the 4-month baseball season year-round. It's not something that you can just do 6 months at a time. All right, soapbox away. Troy Johnson now. First pitch is a strike. A dusty strike, but a strike.
A dusty strike, and not like Dusty Baker.
Swung on and missed. 0-2 now. Curveball popped up. Harris got a play on it at first. Settles under it. And the lefty snares it for the first out.
And that's why you wear all that eye black, you know.
That's what it's for.
That's why you have that set up like you're the Ultimate Warrior. It's kind of, you know, so that when you look straight up in the sky, you can see those sorts of things.
Yeah, nobody does the patches anymore because you can't drag those down your face.
Right,
and make
yeah.
kind of crazy designs.
I'm really disappointed nobody shakes the fence on their way into the field either.
Oh, man. Wouldn't that be great? Curtis had a single, scored a run in the second. Now he's got another one. 2 for 2, Tyler Curtis.
Oxford Hills found their offense.
Yeah, well, swinging early in the count. He swung at the first pitch last time, got a good fastball there. Able to cut away on it. Braden Bean now reached on an error by Plord. It was a bunt. The throw went wide. See whether or not bunt again here.
It's low 1-0.
Bean also scored a run. Was the lead man in that double stolen base. Sneaking up in the box a little bit. Five nothing Vikings, top of the third, 1 down. Tyler Curtis on first. The pitch to Bean, lined into right field. It's going to fall in. Curtis is going to round second hard. He's coming all the way to third. Brushwine has trouble getting it out, and Bean will get to second. That'll be a double. And now Hunter Labossiere, 1 for 2, scored a couple of runs. He's got 2 ducks on the pond here. Tyler Curtis at third base and Braden Bean at second.
Steve, I don't want to say this, but we're starting to get into that territory.
It was not hit that
that,
well.
Yeah, that
Mentioned in the
territory?
write-up, not many teams have scored more than 5 runs. Only Oxford Hills has been able to do it. They scored 6, and they're threatening to do it again here. Ball wasn't hit tremendously hard, but hit where nobody was, beyond the outfield cut, down the line. That's a dangerous spot. Speedy Bean able to get all the way to second. 0-1 on Labossiere. Suicide squeeze again. Curtis is going to reach easily. Varney throws to first. The throw is up. He's out at first. Bean comes in behind him and scores.
Oh,
a 2-run bunt. What a play by Hunter Labossiere. Did a nice job getting the bunt down. Credit to Shane Slicer for sending Tyler Curtis. I don't think anybody in the ballpark thought that Curtis was going to break for home. And he did. He scored easily. The throw was up a little bit. Labossiere out at first, and Harris had to turn and fire towards home plate, threw errantly, and Bean able to score the 7th run. Now with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd, 7-0 Vikings.
Kent Murphy would be super disappointed, but the runs, of course, matter here. So 7-0 now. Nothing but dingers. Quite a dinger, though. Not often you get a 2-run bunt.
Base hit to the left side. And Bailey West is on with his first hit. Now 1 for 3.
I don't see anybody warming up anywhere, Stevie.
They've only got 4 guys. Oh, you know what? There's only 4 guys listed on their bench. Does it look like there's more than 4 guys in that?
I see about, a couple.
Only a couple on there. Matty Smith now 2 for 2. Oh, he's going to let West try to get down, and he'll easily steal second base. So it's a stolen base for Bailey. And Matty Smith now with an opportunity to drive in another run.
That was a good attempt there by Cox. He tried to get the sweep tag and get it up front, which was really going to be his only chance there to get him. He just couldn't get a hold of him.
Smith with a double in the first, a single in the second.
And a line out right there. Not much else you can ask for out of that, though. Vikings now lead 7-0, middle of the 3rd. It's the MBR Game of the Week presented by OA. OA Experience in Motion. Follow them online. Look for them on Twitter and Facebook. And, of course, you can get those links at their website, orthoassociates.com. We are live in Auburn for this one. Oxford Hills looking to hand Edward Little their first loss of the year.
I've got 10 hits so far for the Vikings. Edward Little has made 4 costly errors. Tell you, the Vikings have left 7 guys on base, Matty. Up 7-0, leave 7 on.
Well, geez, if they'd gotten maybe 3 or 4 more, I mean, I'm just saying.
Tell you, it's a good position for these guys to be in, though, right now, Oxford Hills. Edward Little has got some work to do. They're very capable, very capable. Now, 7 runs is the most amount of runs that's been scored against Edward Little at all this year. 2 highest run totals against the Eddies have come at the hands of the Vikings. Troy Johnson hasn't even been through the lineup once yet for the Eddies. It'll be Brushwine, Cox, and Blanchard, 9-1-2 for the Eddies. First pitch taken for a strike. 0-1 now to Brushwine. Johnson from the windup. Breaking pitch is high. Evens it at 1-1. 7-0 Vikings. We are in the bottom of the 3rd, just at the start of it. Nobody out. This is your first batter.
We got some solid cloud patches coming by, Steve.
Lovely.
In order, too.
Lovely. Fastball up, fouled away. I don't know how he hit it or even pulled it to where he did, but he did.
I almost got hit by a pop-up in warm-ups. Everybody kept saying heads up, and I'm like, for me, really? And it was forever. Yeah. And then they just kept looking. I'm like, is there a baseball coming? I just don't know.
One time you don't look. Swing and a miss that time, and a strikeout for Johnson. That's his 3rd strikeout in as many innings. And now Austin Cox, who flew out to Andrew Fleming to lead off the game.
He went up into the bush to get one and could not come away with anything.
Dangerous place to be.
2 in the hand, always better. Johnson's got a really good rhythm out there, Stevie. As soon as he gets that pitch, he's ready to go again. I like to see that.
Wasting no time. I'll tell you, if you're a defender behind him, you like that. You like the fact that he's working quickly.
And Cox doing what he can to disrupt it. Guess it worked there, low.
Somebody get that ball behind? I didn't see the on deck.
Somebody did. I think they're on the other side.
1-1 now to Cox. Swung on, popped to center field. Looks like West will settle under it. He does. And catches it for the second out of the inning. Tell you, the ball looked like it took off the bat quickly. West able to settle under it. Had a beat on it early. Labossiere did a nice job backing him up. And now Tyler Blanchard, who popped out to Braden Bean at second base, will step up. First pitch a strike. 0-1 to the center fielder, Blanchard. Fastball is up to the junior. Tyler, a great receiver for the football team. Here's the 1-1. High. 2-1 now to Tyler Blanchard. Troy Johnson here, working his way through the Edward Little lineup. Pitch is swung on, popped up to right field. Fleming settles, takes a step back, and collects it for the final out.
Andrew Fleming's had a lot of action out there today in right field.
3 up, 3 down, and after 3, 7-0 Vikings over the Eddies. This is the Orthopedic Associates Game of the Week.
Of course, you can catch a replay of this over the weekend in high definition. MBR.org. Of course, you can subscribe to the MBR Sport YouTube page as well. That's where all the videos are that we archive. Go back in there and watch Blake Slicer's perfect game from last week. Apparently, we should just do Oxford Hills games on Fridays. That should be a thing. What do we got?
Just take a peruse.
Take a peruse?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Face the minimum, I see.
No.
No.
Actually, no. 1 over.
1 over.
2 over. 2 over the minimum.
That's right. There's 2 walks,
Because he left the 2 guys. Yeah, those end up being the 2 guys that were left on. Yeah.
2 walks.
Varney now for his 4th inning of work. He will face Chickering, Fleming, and Spinhern. Chickering 1 for 2. Had a strikeout in the first and then a single in the second. We've got a defensive change at second base, Bo Norcross.
Interesting.
Because I believe C.J. Gibson is going to be warming up down in the bullpen.
Well, that would do it.
That's what it looks like. That's exactly what we've got. So C.J. Gibson now down the right field line, getting loose.
That's high, 1-0. That call's been consistent so far both ways.
It has. If both sides don't like it, then that's okay.
That's usually key.
Swung on. Nice, easy hit into left field. Not struck well, but struck at the right time. And Chickering doing a nice job working his way on. The leadoff man for the Vikings reaches first. And now Andrew Fleming reached on an error in the first and then hit a single in the second inning.
Max Bell had nothing to do there but pull up. If he dives out for it, that's probably rolling all the way to the wall.
Got to be careful, yeah.
Vikings once again have the leadoff runner on.
Swings at the first pitch. It's popped straight up. All right, Lashwood doing a nice job. Now, that wasn't the silo ball.
That I was going to say, is that a mini
English on it.
silo
Right,
ball?
that almost looked like it might have made it to the backstop and then kind of curled back. So
that was a barn shot, I
you
guess?
got to
Like a barn cat?
If a guy pops it straight up, he really hits the bottom side of the ball, so it creates a tremendous amount of backspin. That's what pulls the ball down on the way down. So 1 down now, Spinhern, who is 1 for 2. Had a single in the first, flew out to center field in the second.
Lots of first pitch swinging.
Yeah, they've done that most of this game, is largely due to the fact that Varney is trying to throw his fastball early to get ahead in the count. He's thrown the wrinkle to the middle of the lineup. Swung on down the right field line. I think it's going to be there, and it is. Brushwine can't get to it. And Chickering had to hold up a little bit at first, so that'll keep men at first and second. Base hit by Spinhern, now 2 for 3.
That is like the 4th ball that's been hit to that exact same spot today. I mean, you couldn't pinpoint that any better.
It's a dangerous spot, too, because if that ball gets down on the ground and takes more than a single bounce to get to the player, you're looking at multiple bases, especially for a guy like Spinhern who's got some speed.
Looks like Coach Jordan's coming out, and that'll be the end for Mr. Varney.
It will.
That'll be a pitching change. You know, you can always count on the girlfriends of players to retweet the highlights of their boyfriends doing well.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
They're their own PR people.
Sure.
It's like they should really like get into marketing like immediately. Just jump right in before college and just get on that.
Go for it.
Yeah. You're already doing that at that point.
Final line on Varney, 3 1/3, 10 hits, gave up 7 runs, only 3 earned, 2 strikeouts. C.J. Gibson will be your new pitcher.
Reminder that our baseball coverage this year on the main baseball report and MBR.org is brought to you by OA. OA, experience in motion. Find out more information on them online at orthoassociates.com.
So Varney will go into catch, I believe.
At this point, Steve, I don't want to make any promises, but if C.J. Gibson doesn't have it, I don't think anybody else is coming in out of the bullpen. You know, this isn't a Joe Girardi game. I don't see Dave Jordan going to the binder here.
Boy, doesn't he wish he could. I hope he's getting better advice than Larry Rothschild is giving.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So a few defensive adjustments here. Lashua will take over at second base. Varney will move from pitcher to catcher, and then C.J. Gibson will go from the bullpen to the bump. So C.J. Gibson, Brandon Varney is your battery. Harris still at first. Lashua, your second baseman. Everything else remains the same.
Can I get you to update it on there?
You can get me to update that.
I think I'm going to do the – I think what we'll do is we'll start doing the alternating play-by-play stuff. We'll be Joe and Dave, except –
works for me.
Not horribly atrocious.
Works for me.
And condescending like Dave O'Brien is. I'm the only one who hears that, though, Steve. It's just me.
No,
it's just me. I'm the only one.
No, I did see your
that jerky Yankees fan just doesn't like Dave O'Brien. I don't know what his problem is.
Your Chad Finn.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That was a good
today.
That was a good one.
I try to only tweet out stuff that people find interesting.
7-8-9 due up here for the Vikings. Oh, we have one more change.
Oh, my.
Ben Harris will be out at first. Damian St. Pierre will be at first base in place of Harris. Which means Ben Harris is going to go warm up the pitch. That's how this is working, folks.
Ah, I see. There is a binder in there, I guess.
There is a binder somewhere.
Dave Jordan has a binder.
No doubt.
Nice off-speed pitch there for a strike, 0-1.
Gibson only a junior. Talented hoops player, also a receiver on the football team.
Nice play there by Johnson. Nah, we're going to take time. Everybody's been doing it to me.
Disruption.
Good for him.
Chickering on second and Spinhern on first. Misses in.
I love our sign language. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we are communicating. The 1-1 now to Johnson. Curveball, Varney, fresh in, able to stop it.
That's tough.
Ugh.
Like, your day on the mound's over. Hey,
Yeah.
go get your catching gear on.
Yeah, you know he's hanging. You know he doesn't want to give up 7 runs. He definitely doesn't want to go in and take 2 off the forearm.
Right.
2-1 now to Troy Johnson. Fastball is down, and Gibson just having trouble finding it here. Looks to be overthrowing a little bit. 3-1 now to Johnson. Chickering at second, Spinhern at first. There is 1 down, 7-0 Vikings. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Now full count. Top of the 4th inning. Couple of errors have not helped the Eddies out. And the full count pitch. Swung on, hit to bounding ball deplored. He thinks about second, goes to first. And with a fielder's choice, Chickering able to advance to third and Spinhern over to second. Johnson probably not happy with the outcome, but I'll tell you what, happy with the fact that he was able to get a couple of guys in a scoring position. For a guy behind him in Tyler Curtis, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, also scored a couple of runs.
It's a nice play by Plord on that bounce.
I think if he fields it cleanly right away, if it's hit any harder, he's got a shot at a double play. He thought about it.
Kind of got caught in between there, and then if he tries to rush a double play, there's a very good possibility he's just going to boot it. So
1-0 to Curtis is in there for a strike.
Curtis has 2 singles, right?
2 for 2. Scored 2 runs.
No stirrups today, I see.
No stirrups.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Still bearded.
Still bearded.
1-1 is down. 2-1 to Curtis.
Say it like how you say down instead of low. I like that. It's good.
2
just
down
different.
here. 2 down. Top 4, 7-0 Vikings. 2 men on, second and third. Pitch to Curtis. Hit weakly down the first base line. St. Pierre fields it in foul territory. And such is the call. 2-2.
Wow, this cloud cover, let me tell you.
Lovely, lovely.
Shout out.
And
Shout out to whoever's upstairs putting the shade on.
Yeah.
That's cool. We appreciate that.
where's the small wonder girl who can stop time by touching her fingers here? The 2-2 to Tyler Curtis. Fouled off. Boy, the pitch was up. He was way out in front of the breaking pitch, but able to kind of flick his wrist at it and foul it away. Stayed alive here. 2-2 to Curtis. Chickering at third, Spinhern at second. Pitch is up. I'll tell you, it landed in the mitt, but it came across high. There's no doubt. And a full count. Curtis asked for time. He wants to take another second to think about it. Here's the full count pitch. Up. Curtis gets a free one down to first, so he'll stay perfect on the day, 2 for 2. And now Braden Bean will step into the plate. Braden reached on an error by way of bunt in the second and then had a nice double down the right field line last inning. Bags full for Bean. First pitch a breaking ball in there for a strike.
So many beanbags jokes. Just
So many.
So many.
So
I mean,
many.
just waiting there.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch up that time. 1-1. Bases loaded here. Top of the 4th inning, 2 down. Vikings up 7-0. C.J. Gibson here with the pitch. Swung on, high chopper. Plord cuts it off nicely, throws it in the dirt. St. Pierre can't get it. Chickering scores, Spinhern scores. Curtis comes all the way to third. It is 9-0 Vikings with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
My, oh my.
Does he reach if the throw gets there?
No. That was a good play.
That's
And that's the problem at this level. I mean, you're going to make that scoop, but then the throw's going to be off, you know?
a tough play. It is a tough play.
Been some Baltimore chops today.
And now Labosiere up. He is 1 for 2. Had a single, reached on an error, and a sacrifice bunt the last time up. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Fake steal that time from Bean. No throw at all. So Bean on first, Curtis on third base. Vikings 9, Edward Little nothing. And Hunter Labosiere up with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Big walking lead for Bean. He's going to, swung on, foul territory.
Almost off the batting cages.
So what was happening there was Mr. Bean is trying to walk off first base to get drawn into a pickle by the pitcher. If you get drawn into it by a pickle in between first and second, you give Curtis an opportunity to get in here and get the 10th run. We'll see whether or not Bean walks off the base again. He's got a big lead. 0-2 here to the hitter. Heavy, quick throw by Gibson. His best move for sure.
Need a little more dancing over there. You might be able to get Gibson to throw that away.
Yeah.
And then there's your 10th run.
0-2 to Labosiere. Bean off with the pitch. And he'll have to spin all the way back around. I tell you, it's tough when you've got a guy stealing in an 0-2 count. You've got to protect the plate. And Labosiere doing a nice job that time, fouling a tough pitch away. You don't want to get rung up here. Don't have the luxury of taking a pitch to allow him to get down to second base. 0-2 to Labosiere. Foul away again. 3rd in a row. He's had him 0-2 now for 6 pitches. Making Gibson work for it. Bean on first, Curtis on third. Vikings 9, Eddies nothing. We are in the top of the 4th, 2 down. Bean off with a pitch. Curveball down to third base. Ruled foul. Boy, it looked close. Came down the line. Plord fielded it. He was into foul territory, but where did it cross the face of that third base bag? Home plate umpire said in the wrong area, so he ruled it foul. And another one fouled away by Labosiere. Bean was off with the last pitch. We'll see whether or not he goes. 0-2 pitch again. Swung on, foul back. Gritty performance here by Hunter.
This is like that Marty Barrett at bat from like 92. 17
Marty.
Foul balls.
Labosiere only a sophomore. Bean with a decent lead over at first. He's off with a pitch. Fastball is down. Varney's going to throw it through. Here comes Curtis to the plate. The throw's there, and he's going to get thrown out. Nope.
Dropped it.
No way.
Dropped
So the home plate umpire is going to say that Curtis was tagged, and then on the transfer, he dropped the ball. So that'll be the standard 2-6-2 out in your scorebook for Curtis.
Oh, yes, the standard 262. Which you see all the time. Goodness.
So Labosiere was the second out. And the third out was there. Okay, so after 3 in the middle of the 4th here, Vikings 9, Edward Little 0. This is the Orthopedic Associates Game of the Week. Wow. 12 hits so far for the Vikings.
They've left a lot of runners on, too.
5 errors, and that time they left another guy on. So they've left 8 on so far by my account. And it just kind of feels like the air has been taken out of the Eddies. I mean, I get it. The scoreboard says 9 and nothing on your side, but hey, they've scored those 9 runs in 4 different spots in the box score, and you've got 4, 5, 6, and 7. You've got 4 spots left in your box score. You can just as easily hang a 9. Troy Johnson.
Oh, we saw them come back against Lawrence here.
So if you left South Paris and you told Troy Johnson, hey, you'll have a 9-run lead as you work the bottom of 4, think he'd be happy?
I think he'd be okay with that.
I think he'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Jared Norcross-Plord, then Drew Lashua and Brandon Varney. 3, 4, and 5 for the Eddies. Plord struck out in his first at bat. Curveball misses low. 1-0 to the third baseman. Tell you, he's been tested over there at third. He hasn't had a whole lot of easy plays, but you expect your good players to make those difficult plays, and just haven't put it together on both ends for the Eddies. 0-1 popped up into center field. West, a couple of steps back, but right at him. Collects the first out, and one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Now Drew Lashua walked in his first at-bat in the bottom of the second inning.
See, I like this being 330 all the way around. It actually looks
Even.
like you might be able to hit a home run out of here.
So if you're at home and thinking, oh, the fence is 330 all the way around, that means it's a dead straight no.
No.
Pitch swung on, popped out to center field yet again, and to Bailey West. One of my favorite stories of all time was when Andrew Jones first came up with the Braves, and I forget who the hitter was, but Greg Maddox said, listen, first at bat, go to the warning track, stand with your heels on the dirt, and whoever the hitter was, I think it was Craig Biggio, he'll hit it right to you. Andrew Jones thought he had to be joking, but sure enough, the scientist able to pull it off, the professor. Breaking pitch to Varney in there for a strike.
Of course, you say that around here, people think you're talking about Mike Hathaway.
Right. Equally named. 0-1 to Varney. Misses high. 2 down, bottom of 4. Vikings up 9-zip. Everett Little just hasn't found much in the way of any offense outside of a couple of walks. Popped up again to left field. West has a beat on it, but it looks like Labossiere will be able to collect it, and he does. 3 up, 3 down yet again for the Eddies. No runs, no hits, none left on. They've only left 2 on all game and through 4 full innings of baseball. Oxford Hills leads the Eddies 9-0. It is the Orthopedic Associates Game of the Week.
Make sure you're following MBR on all the appropriate social media stuff. Of course, you can find the links for that at mbr.org. On Twitter, you want to look for MBR Maine and MBR Radio. You also want to look for Maine Baseball Report. Look for ME Baseball Report. Just take out the last O or something. All the links are right there, right on the right-hand column of mbr.org, your best resource for sports.
Gibson back at second base for the Eddies. Drew Lashua will move over to first base. So he's been the catcher, the second baseman, now the first baseman. And Ben Harris, who started the day at first and was DH'd for by Grant Hartley, will toe the rubber for the Eddies. Harris is a lefty. Sports no record for the Eddies. Had some mop-up innings. And in the top of the 5th inning, Mr. Boutwell, you will have West, Smith, and Chickering. West will lead it off. He is 1 for 3. Strikeout, line out to left field. Single and a stolen base in his last at bat. The speedy West.
Now, I remember growing up in Little League, they wouldn't let the lefty pitch because he would be, quote, too wild because he was lefty.
Right, well,
I always thought that was discrimination.
it's one of the strange things is people wonder why a left-handed pitcher, if you're the saying is if you're left-handed and you can throw 80 miles an hour, you can probably make it in the major leagues. The fact of the matter is, left-handed pitcher, the ball comes off of their hand a little bit funny. So a lot of times the ball tails away, and it's kind of a funky pitch. The lefties tend to be quirkier. I'm generalizing here. I know that.
A little quirkiness there, always good. Lavoisier's up. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1.
Watching Harrison warm-ups, he pegged a couple to home plate. I thought, wow, that kid's got a good arm. Now I know he pitches.
That one is going to be lined into right center field, and that will get down for a base hit. Blanchard will track it down, but Oxford Hills, stop me if you've heard this one, have the leadoff runner on.
Been every inning so far.
Yep.
Labossiere got a single in the first. Curtis got a single in the second.
West at the dish, Smith on deck.
Wow.
Vikings. No bueno. Doing the thing. That one's outside, 1-0. Pulled the bunt back just in time.
I see no young children playing with extension cords, which is good, right?
Well, that's a bonus. Thanks for jinxing that.
Yeah. No curious toddlers.
That was last time when they were jumping over it back and forth. That was nice. Pitch is going to be bunted. I'll go back to the pitcher. Harris will swing that right into first base and one away. 1-3 on the putout.
That will go down as a sacrifice.
Matt Smith has had quite a day so far. Vikings have had quite a day so far. 9-0 Oxford Hills. Pitch is low, 1-0. High, 2-0. Harris getting reset. Third pitcher of the day here for Edward Little. Pitch to Smith, swung on a miss, 2-1. Swung right through that one. Beautiful day in Auburn, unless you're an Edward Little fan. 9-0 Oxford Hills leads. 2-1 pitch is going to be hit out into center field, deep, back, out, and that'll be that. Blanchard will track that one down, headed towards the fence, and there's 2 away. Smith almost got all of it. Chickering will step in there with a chance to make it a 10-0 ball game. Top of the 5th, 9-0 Oxford Hills. 2 away. First pitch to Chickering is outside, 1-0.
Chickering 2 for 3. Struck out in the first, had a single in the second, had a single and scored a run in the fourth.
1-0 pitch. Low, 2-0. Andrew Fleming is on deck. Or Mr. Chickering to extend this inning. Now everybody's set. 2-0 pitch. Not in there. 3-0.
Tough to see in and out from here.
I think the other side of the field is unenthused with the calls now. It's weird how that changes game to game. Inning to inning. Pitch to pitch. 3-0 pitch is in there for strike 3-1. Right on second is Labossiere. 3-1 pitch to Chickering. Fouled away. They say when you foul it straight back, you were almost on it.
Just missing it. Read the ball just by hitting it, not so square. Just shy of square. You'll spin it straight back.
3-2 pitch is going to be line too short and not able to track that one down, and that is going to lead to another run scoring. Cox wasn't able to handle it. It is 10-0 Oxford Hills.
Ball not hit terribly hard, but Cox just kind of struggled with it. Couldn't really get much of a handle on it, and it squirted in the outfield grass. Labossiere hustling from second base. The slicer kept the wheel on going, and Hunter able to get all the way to home plate.
Yeah, from
now
second.
We got 10-0.
We do,
Matty. There is a rule about that.
Let's root for a little thing called a 1, 2, 3, maybe.
I don't
possibly?
think
No, we
Chickering
don't
is
root
going to
for
be
those
going
things.
very far over at first base.
I don't think so either. Fleming up at the plate. He's had a good day. Swung and a missed. 0-1, 2 out, 10-0 Oxford Hills. That'll be chopped foul right in front of us.
Fleming 1 for 3, reached on an error in the first, had a single in the second, popped out to the catcher last inning.
Steve, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me as many questions as you would like.
The coaches have to wear helmets.
Yep.
Now, if they were to wear gloves, would they not have to wear helmets?
No. That comes from that minor league guy that got hit in the head.
Well, yeah. No, I totally understand that. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Fleming goes down swinging, but the Vikings get another one. The all-important 10th run through 4.5 innings of play. It is 10-0 Oxford Hills over Edward Little. But the people in the field, the way I look at it, they don't have helmets.
No, I agree.
If you had any type of vitamin D deficiency, you would.
Today would be the day to get rid of it.
Today would be the day that you would no longer have any type of vitamin D deficiency. We're all kind of human solar panels today, I feel.
I like that. Human solar panels. Man, that's fantastic.
Occasionally we're tax deductible too, which is nice. That's key. Today's game brought to you by OA. Find out more from them online at orthoassociates.com. Also by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Need help with raising funds for your group or event? Go to maineathleticfundraising.com there. Also MBR.org. It's your main resource for sports. Everything there, scores, schedules, and more for free. MBR.org.
Okay, here we go. Got to hold them. If you are the Vikings, you got to hold them here if you want to maximize the 10-run differential.
Grant.
Nobody hung up double digits this year on the Eddies.
Grant Hartley at the dish. And that is going to be hit short. And Spinhern can't gather hold of it. That would be an E6.
E6 in my book, folks. E6 in my book. Hit right at him. That's a play he should make with ease. Popped up to him. And he couldn't get it. Only the third person to reach first base. The other two by way of walk. Now Max Bell, the left fielder, popped out to Matty Smith in his first at bat.
Of course, this is double play territory as well. Pitch is inside, 1-0.
Let's not tighten up in a 9-run game here.
Yeah,
right?
Let's not. Let's keep this double digits. Johnson's pitch is going to be hit out to right field. Fleming there, one away. Andrew Fleming, all sorts of action, flashing the leather today out in right field.
It's the fourth ball that's been hit to him. I mean, that's quite a bit for the right fielder.
That's why they put you in right field
I mean,
usually. That's why I was always in right field.
C.J. Gibson now. Guess what he did? Popped out to Fleming and right.
A 1 pitch from Johnson is going to be hit to center field. West right there. And there's 2 away. Edward Little in danger of being, stuff. Just don't want to say anything here.
Yeah, there may be an alert. I don't know if you've posted an alert or
Don't
anything.
want to jinx anything. Don't want to do anything with that either. But this could be back-to-back. What are the odds on that?
9th place hitter. Guess what, Matty? Guess what, Matty?
Popped up. West, back, has it.
We got us a no-hitter, folks.
Last Friday, we had a perfect game. This Friday, we've got a no-hitter. It's only 5 innings, but they'll take it. Oxford Hills didn't score on Wednesday. They scored 10 today. Final score, Oxford Hills 10, Edward Little nothing. The Eddies have suffered their first loss of the season in
12 innings.
Minimal style.
12 innings of no-hit baseball right here on the OA Game of the Week.
How does that work?
Come on.
It's almost like we pick it.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
You know, there's going to be an investigation at some point.
Unbelievable.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And I'll tell you what, good job by Troy Johnson to use the defense that was behind him. I won't get his name wrong now, right? He got a no-hitter.
Yeah, that's
Fact of the matter is, outfield was busy all day long. You had Labossiere made a huge catch. West was busy all day in center field. 4 or 5 hit out to Andrew in right field. He used the 7 guys, the defense behind him. What a tremendous job today by Troy Johnson. Outstanding effort by the Vikings.
Well, I'll let you tally everything up. Get a reminder, these games brought to you by OA, Orthopedic Associates. Find out more from them online at orthoassociates.com. Also, want to thank the folks at Maine Athletic Fundraising. If you've got fundraising you got to do, give them a call. Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them online at maineathleticfundraising.com. Also, MBR.org, Maine's best resource for sports. I have the recap of this game tomorrow, videos, everything else. Yes, we're...
No kidding. Wow. Coach is letting us hear. They want us to see if we can't get a game of the week for next Wednesday.
Right,
We got a big game coming up on Wednesday against was it Lewiston? I can't remember exactly who they play next.
Yeah.
I believe they travel. I've got it right here, Maddie. They travel to
Mount Blue, something, yeah.
I've
got the schedule up there?
Oh, he's asking for us to cover Mount Blue Wednesday, but they've got Lewiston on looks like on Monday. So they play Lewiston on Monday, then Mount Blue up in South Paris on Wednesday. Wow, what an impressive effort here from the Vikings. So, 12-13, I have got, how many errors? 5, and there was a 6th one in that inning. So, final score here, Oxford Hills, 10 runs on 13 hits. They only committed 1 error. Edward Little, no runs, no hits, 6 errors. They left 3 men on base, did the Eddies, to 9 for Oxford Hills, and a no-hitter for Troy Johnson. Nothing else to say, folks. An incredible game.
You know what I just did? I'm such a bonehead. I just took your thing, and when I tweeted it wrong with the wrong name. That was great. That was nice. I blame you for this. I blame you.
Edit.
Delete and redo.
Edit.
Troy Johnson with a no-hitter. Oxford Hills moves Edward Little from the ranks of the unbeaten. That's worth some heels. That's worth some points, whatever they are. Crabtree, heels, baseball. I don't know.
Shout out to the young lady at home who chose to watch us in high definition on 46 inches of widescreen display.
That's great.
Apparently, it was tremendous.
That's good. That's always good. I want to thank Undisclosed Camera Guy for braving the elements today, and I'm really glad we could get you a game with some with a little bit of cloud cover, and also one that only lasted 5 innings. For Steve Flynn, I'm Matty Boutwell. It's the MBR Game of the Week. Your final: Oxford Hills 10, Edward Little nothing. The MBR Game of the Week is brought to you by OA. Experience in motion. We'll catch you next time here on MBR.org.